Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. You look at this Bronco defense, currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, #1 versus #1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. This defense for the Broncos, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The first carry now. This is Williams. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
In motion comes the tight end left. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Let's go. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And that is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing Nix. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carried from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But Here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Second and 9 now. They've got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 34. As a defense, what a nuisance when you look on the other side and they've got a tight end that can run a post route like that.
And you felt the ground shake, didn't you? Oh, even all the way up here in this booth. How about when he grabbed the football? You could see the terror as everyone was thinking, do I even want to try and tackle that big man?
Walker now on 1st and 10. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Seahawks at 11-1 now on the year. And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front runners. They're playing with extreme confidence. And you need that in order to go all the way.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
When you look at this Bronco defense, it's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. John Franklin Myers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Gates escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now it's Nix. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw, here's Nix. That is incomplete.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Nix from the shotgun. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to make it 4th down. We're scoreless after 1. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. Trying the left side with Walker. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Back to Walker on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Off play action. Gates. They'll roll him out right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Gates. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. To throw is Nix. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Nix to the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Collins.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Nix. This one swung out to Williams. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Slot man moves right. Nick's going to tap this forward. Down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Romeo Doubs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to add on to that lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And this one's going to sail on him a bit, and it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Second and 10.
Here we go, Shaq.
Back to throw. Gates. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Trap 60, Buffalo 18. Go.
Back to throw again. He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Operating from the gun. Nix. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They need 12 here. It's third down. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Operating from the gun. Nix. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 1. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Walker with another carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mims in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy, but he decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 62 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go now.
Operating from the gun, Gates. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. John Franklin Myers, his 2nd sack of the night. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Operating from the gun. Gates, flush to his right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Sack.
Looking to throw. Gates. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. John Franklin Myers in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Second and 5. He finds his man, complete. It's Collins. Big strides, look at him go. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. Give him 32 on the play.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now here's a quick throw out to Mims. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They try the left side here with Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
He'll buy some time right. Touchdown! Javonte Williams, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. Flushed out right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Off the play fake. Gates. That completes it again to Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Seahawks on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun. Gates. He finds his man complete. It's Crawford. And he has the first down as he's able to reach the ball forward and get past the line to gain. Back to throw. Gates. He'll find Metcalf. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
32-yard line.
Second and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Crawford. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means he'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Pressure comes and down he goes. Leonard Williams, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. In motion, the tight end. Operating from the gun. Nix. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Boye Mafe able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Looking to throw. Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's 1st and 10.
60 Maverick. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Throwing to start the drive. Gates. Over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
13 yards on the play.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Here comes 2nd down.
19 Lions. Set. Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 37.
Yards on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
Operating from the gun. Gates escaping the pressure right. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Here now, 2nd and goal.
7 Pirate. Set. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Go.
Back to throw. Gates. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And his kick here is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. He finds his man, complete. That's Collins. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for Denver, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a rare misstep as they'll drop to 11-2 on the year, and they'll get the extra week to think about